Good Packer Nation Labor Day morning, everybody. I really wasn't planning to do a show, but I thought I wanted to at least give you guys a Labor Day shout out, and I hope you guys are all having a great day so far. Maybe some of you are still catching up on sleep at this point, and that's all good. I hope you all have the day off. But yeah, I titled this show, Emoji Me Your Thoughts on the Release of Josh Sitton. So I kind of thought I know what I would see here pretty soon as all of you get on board and we do Packer Nation roll call. So jump on, let me know who you are and where you're coming at me from. And while you're at it, emoji me your thoughts on the release of Sitton. Yeah, we're seeing some Hey, Jeff Hayes is here. How you doing, bro? Good to hear from you. Good to see you on board. Tyler is here with the thumbs up. Brent Wilbur, hi there. Go Pack Go. Tanner and Ricky. Ricky from Chicago. All right. We got a lot of fans in Chicago holding the line down there. That's a tough place to be. Of course, we know now that we have a former lineman that's going to be playing for the Chicago Bears again. Tyler is here. Ricky, Tim, Amanda. Good to see all you guys. Drew and Chris. Great to have you on board. I'm going to make this a short show today. I'm not going to go really long with you, but I just couldn't help but get on. And a lot of people are ticked off about Josh Sitton no longer being with the Packers. I happen to be one of them. I don't see the point of doing it now. I can see after the season if he, couldn't get healthy or whatever, but I just don't see the point of doing it right now. So we got Bryce and Jared is here. Jared Dixon is back. Good to see you. Yeah, Jeff says in Ted we have to trust. Yeah, we have no choice. That in this case, I just don't see. I don't agree with him at all. I just don't see the point in doing it now. I actually. Can imagine that. Okay, let me tell you what my big problem with it is, all right? I'm going to boil it all right down, okay? Now, if you release a guy like Sitton, okay, obviously they know more than we do. They have a line on his health more so than we do. We don't know. That's the one thing I could say. If there was a concern for his health that we were not aware of, I can understand this. Hey, Jose is here, and Paul, here's what I disagree with. Why can't we ever get any trade value on these guys out of Ted Thompson? Ron Wolf could get trades done. Why can't we ever get trades done out of these guys? Josh Sitton, are you telling me he is not worth a trade? That someone out there wasn't willing to trade? We end up having to cut him? That's what ticks me off, okay? Yes, if you are going to time it and get rid of Sitton now, you better doggone well be on the line, pulling your strings, being charismatic enough to draw in somebody for a trade. And we did not get that done. That is what ticks me off. That's what I don't like about the whole situation. All right, so yeah, you guys are letting me know what you think. Today's show is Emoji Me what you think about the Sitton release. And Ricky says health issues, and yeah, there were health issues, but there were no more health issues than Brian Bulaga has, and we gave him a contract. I would have rather seen, who did we pick up in the draft? We picked up tackles. I mean, our Jason Spriggs is a tackle, our highest draft. I would have rather seen, again, unless there's something they know about Josh Sitton's injury that we don't, but for crying out loud, Brian Bulaga is already struggling to get up off the ground, folks. Have you watched this guy? He's already struggling to get up off the ground. And we released Josh Sitton. If you're going to shake up the line, I would have rather have seen them have to replace the right tackle and maybe Jason Spriggs, who, yes, did struggle. He's a young player, but a guy with some up-and-coming talent. Let's shake it up on that side, for crying out loud. Of course, we couldn't see the future in that regard. But what I don't like about this, let me kind of sum it up. What I don't like about this is getting absolutely nothing out of Josh Sitton. Okay? However he left the Packers, it shouldn't have been clear and free release for someone else to just pick him up. Chicago Bears. Chicago Bears are a better team as of today. We'll see if Josh can stay healthy, but he will go out and play. And he is an upgrade. Their offensive line has struggled for years. I just don't like that we got nothing goose egg out of Josh Sitton. That's the problem I have. So thumbs up if you agree. Hey, we should have got something for this guy at least. I mean, I think maybe we can all in Packer Nation at least agree we should have got something out of this guy. I mean, man, I hated what, we watched him on I forget which preseason, maybe it was the last one. Preseason games, he's on the sidelines getting interviewed. He's Packer people, man. I would hate, this is one position, I'll tell you right now, that I would hate to be an offensive lineman on the Green Bay Packers under Ted Thompson. He has a history now of dumping offensive linemen. Now, we know Ted Thompson wants to stay young, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. We also know that he has zero tolerance for injuries that concern him down the road. So, those things I'm kind of okay with. But, again, thumbs up if you think we should have at least got something for Josh Sitton. We should have got something. But, all right. Thus ends the rant. Hey, I hope you guys feel a little bit better, right? You can get on. You can put your angry face on. You can put your sad face on. You can emoji me your thoughts about the release of Josh Sitton getting nothing. It feels good, doesn't it? We get our say a little bit once in a while from time to time. Here on Good Packer Nation Morning, we are going to talk about it. But it's a good day. I hope all of you guys are having a great Labor Day Monday, and I hope all of you guys get a chance to have some fun today, get a chance to soak up some beautiful weather. I think it hits beautiful here in Northeast Tennessee. I've heard that the weather is starting, and I'm imagining the weather is starting to turn toward that beautiful fall in Wisconsin. I wish I was with all of you who are my Wisconsin listeners and watchers out there. And Elias mentions it's even worse. I mean, not only did we not get anything out of him, but then he goes to Chicago. It's like insult. Let me introduce you to injury. It's just bad news. But hey, guys, one thing I will say about Josh Sitton is and you guys can thumbs up if you agree. I don't think it's the end of the world. I'm not a sky is falling kind of guy on the release of Josh Sitton, okay? I still think it shakes up the offensive line where continuity is so important, and why now? And why get nothing, okay? But I don't think the sky is falling, all right? I think we're going to be just fine. I think Eddie Lacy looks good, and hopefully, we'll see what they're planning to do if they think Lindsley is going to be back and can put him at center, move Treader over, or how all of that is going to work out. But somebody now is going to have to step up. And there's no question this coaching staff has been able to deal with having to move players around and having somebody have to step up in the past. Look at our Super Bowl run 2010, right? 16 players on IR. It was shaken up. Then we get into the Super Bowl itself, and what happens? Charles Woodson goes out. Donald Driver goes out. Sam Shields goes out. And we took the title, ladies and gentlemen, of Packer Nation. The sky isn't falling. We are still getting ready to kick butt and take names. So, hey, let me end today's video. I told you it was going to be short with this thought. Regular season NFL football starting Thursday. It's Monday, and the regular season starts Thursday. Can I get a heart if you're happy that NFL football, regular season football, is almost here, boys and girls? I am stoked. I am totally stoked. I can't wait. So yeah, it's coming right around the corner. And then, of course, Packer football coming right behind it on the 11th. It's hard to believe we finally made it through another off-season and preseason. Jared is pumped. Ricky is, oh, heck yeah, out there. Lucius, do you see the Packers in the Super Bowl? Yeah, I do. I do see them. And I believe that that's exactly what I'm going to, we do predictions before the season begins. I do believe that's exactly what I'm going to say at this point. The Sitton shakeup, I really don't like shaking up an offensive line. It's incredibly important, that continuity that we had. But again, we don't know exactly what the situation was with Sitton's injury. I don't think the sky is falling. I think we're going to be okay. I've watched a few of the other teams as they've sort of developed, and I think that I think that the Packers are going to be fine. When I looked early in the offseason, when I looked at these 2 away games, of course, I would have early thought that we would probably lose to the Minnesota Vikings when they opened US Bank Stadium. But we, now we have, of course, Teddy Bridgewater's out, and they've got their replacement now. But I don't think that's gonna make them into I think we're going to win that game now, which kind of changes my thinking on a lot of games down the road. So we'll see. I'm still doing some thinking on that, but I do think we can. I think this is a year that we can definitely make a run for it all and get the ring, and hopefully we will. So speaking of get the ring, I hope all of you guys. Oh, I might as well get it out while I got it here. I hope all of you guys jumped on GreenBayPackerNation.com, and JR has pinned the post to the top where you can sign up for the new game. We had one little snafu. The game is free. It's a free download, free app. You can play for free. You have to get tokens. You have to acquire tokens, but you can get those by purchase, or you can interact with ads, get those for free as well. All of the pregame set is free. So if in the event that somebody got something, when we send it to them and it says something about you've got that we've got to you got to pay or anything, that something might have gone wrong. So we did have that happen just once. I don't think it'll happen anymore, and I haven't seen it in any other of the hundreds of people that we're working on it as fast as we can, and I think we're fairly well caught up trying to get to out of the international folks now, and also there are a few that maybe didn't quite get their number in, or what we'll try to email everybody, get everybody on board. But you're playing for the ring, the precious, and it's going to be fun. But like I said, you'll have to pry it from my cold, dead hands. I will be polishing it daily, and it's just like Tolkien wrote about. I find myself like pulling it out and wearing it more and more. So hopefully you guys can jump on GreenBayPackerNation.com. Be a good day to get signed up, and we'll kind of pay attention, try to get everybody on board, and then you guys are in when it comes out in October. So somebody's asking about the Tony Romo injury. I mean, he broke a bone in his back. They say, I think, at least 6 weeks, I think is what they're saying. So I think, I'm forgetting off the top of my head when we play the Cowboys, but it's October 16th, right? So I think that he will not be playing. I think we'll have Dak Prescott probably in there when we play the Cowboys. I believe October 16th, if I'm remembering right. So we will see. Chris is asking if my pink shirt comes with the ring for whoever wins the league. You want the shirt off my back? Man. All right, so here's what you win. You get the ring. That's the trophy. You can put it on your desk. You can wear it. And you can also wear it when you smack talk me, and I have to post the video of whoever wins, okay? And now you're asking for the shirt off my back? I'll consider it. I would actually consider it. I have to give you the shirt off my back. Man, that would kind of suck. But I would really be motivated to win. I am totally stoked because this thing has. Oh, guys, by the way, we will be showing very soon this week, and I believe this week, a preview. You will get to see a preview of how it plays. Remember, this is not super heavy graphic interface. It's made to be it's made to be one-handed. It's made to be when you're on your data plan, it's not going to kill your data plan. If you happen to be out, you can still play. It's one-handed play. You don't even have to set down your beer. Okay, it's not going to interrupt. You're watching the game. It's going to enhance it because you're going to be making calls before they happen, just like you love to do, and then in game you will be able to rub noses in game, rub your friends' noses in all the calls that you make that they screw up. Okay, so it's just going to be fun. Thoughts on the Jacksonville game? I mentioned that a couple days back, but I will take a minute. Again, if you guys have to go or whatever, maybe you got the day off, you want to hang with me a little longer. I meant for this show to be a little shorter, but I will kind of rehash my thoughts on Jacksonville right now. I think they're vulnerable. I think especially because we have them first game of the season. You know, they've spent a lot of time, effort, draft picks, and money on their defense. And the way it looks right now, it has really not gelled just yet. Cincinnati, who I think was a good sort of touchstone game for them in the preseason, a good comparison to the Packers and what we bring to the table in some sense, was their third preseason game, which again is the dress rehearsal, if there is one in the preseason. Cincinnati gashed them, and I think the Packers have an opportunity to really, truly take down the Jacksonville Jaguars. We'll see how it goes. My big concern, especially with us not playing our starters more, is to make sure that we're game ready by then in our conditioning. And we're going down to Florida. It's going to be really hot, and that does make a difference. So I hope that we will. I hope that we'll be able to hold our own in terms of being in condition. Other than that, I think we have the opportunity to truly make a statement right out of the gate against the Jacksonville Jaguars. And somebody's asking, I'm sorry I missed the name there, was asking about Jordy. We think he'll be able to pick up where he left off. That's a really good question. There's a psychological side to an ACL injury, and again, I've had more toward the Teddy Bridgewater injury than the Jordy Nelson injury. So the Jordy Nelson injury I have described as a very serious injury, but not devastating, because the knee, it was not dislocated. It was one of those awkward ACLs, so the thing that I think Jordy's going to be fine physically. I think the thing that he might think too is just when you start to cut after an ACL, it's a little different. And I don't know if this is true now for everybody else, but it even feels a little different for a while. It did for me anyway. So I'm not sure if that's going to be the case, but I do think there might be a little period of time where Jordy has to kind of just sort of work his way back into making the cuts. Of course, a lot of that he's gotten over in practice, et cetera, and then warming up with Aaron Rodgers before the preseason games. But we'll see. But I think I think the main concern, and I'm sure you agree, the main thing is just that he gets right long term and that they do the timeline right. And I think that is going to happen for sure. But we will see. And Jeff is mentioning Adrian Peterson, came back in 8 months, and he just took off, was off and running. But again, the big thing with an ACL, and this is when they usually happen, is it's one of those awkward angle injuries, and he will have to learn to cut. And just basically ignore it. I have a guy that downstairs that actually, and this will be interesting to many of you, was in the training room of the Jacksonville Jaguars. I probably won't get he's doing his PhD work here. And he was talking about that ACL injury, and he said, they're going to have his timeline laid out. And he's going to have to reach certain benchmarks, which 99.9% of which he's already reached. And cutting is one of those. He's just going to have to get used to cutting again. So most likely, Jordy has gotten used to cutting in the practices, and he will, I think, sort of hit the ground running against Jacksonville. But I wouldn't be out there expecting him to because, again, we have other talented players too. I wouldn't necessarily expect him to have, 9 catches and over 100 yards against Jacksonville. But I would be surprised either. So I hope that answers your question from my perspective, and from the perspective of an expert. Robert, my friend here, he's a really great guy, and it was good to talk to him as an expert about this ACL injury and how they come back from that. Hector says it'll be all right, and I do agree, Hector. All right, folks, that's going to do it for me today. I hope you have a great day. Again, thank you so much for jumping in. Today is Emoji Me Your Thoughts on the Josh Sitton release, so you can just burn it across the page if you still want to get in and let everybody know what you think about the Packers releasing Josh Sitton. I have made my point. I just think that there's no reason we should have gotten nothing out of the guy. That's what kind of ticks me off. But we don't run the show. I think we'll be okay, but today is the day you do get to get a little bit of therapy and emoji me your thoughts. So, guys, as I leave, I'm going to do a few more shout-outs. Have a great day, and jump on www.greenbaypackernation.com. The top post will get you into the new free game when it comes out, and you will get some perks, again, for signing up early, okay? Coming out in October, going to be a lot of fun. Ben is here. Zach is here. Will is here. Jeff is here. Hey, Tim. Jared says later, so I'll say goodbye to Packer Nation from Jared down in Australia, mate. You probably hate it when I do that. That's okay. He's like screen punching right now. All right, bye, Hector. And you guys all in Packer Nation, love you all. Thank you so much for jumping in. We'll talk to you again later. And remember, get the ring.